All right, welcome back. It's great to have you in today. I got to read one spot here. Is that okay, Chris?
Go ahead.
Great news. Quick way you could answer. Save money. Switch to Geico. 15 minutes. Save you 15% more on car insurance. Go to geico.com. Chris doesn't have a car. He just flies everywhere. Chris Haynes, NBA insider, Yahoo Sports, also now part of our FS1 NBA team. It's absolutely great to have you and Rick Bucher now joining our already great staff. So let's, I was saying the other day is that Joy and I, we thought Ty Lue, I was concerned about the optics of handing it over to LeBron, but I think they're trolling him now. They bring in Lance Stevenson, Kobe's agent, Magic quits, Phil Jackson hired the new coach. They picked Frank Vogel over the guy who was close to Jason Kidd. I kind of given up on the Lakers. I know the Rambuses. I like them, but this whole thing feels like could you give LeBron a solid? He is. I mean, could you give him a hug? It's like everything is like literally you're finding all his arch rivals. I mean, what do you make of Vogel? I don't even know what to make of Vogel.
Look, this what we do though is that Vogel was at least their fourth or fifth option.
Right.
He was initially pegged to be an assistant on one of their primary candidates, Ty Lue, Monty Williams.
Yeah.
The way they handled this search was just a debacle. It was an embarrassment. And look, I'm not trying to knock Frank Vogel or diminish anything.
Right.
One thing about him, he's a great X's and O's coach.
He is.
He instills discipline and structure. And so for a young Lakers team, that's exactly what they need.
It should be noted, Chris, those Pacers teams that gave Miami trouble, Roy Hibbert was a big cog.
Yep.
I mean, you can go back to those teams. The Pacers backcourt couldn't shoot, and Roy Hibbert, who was a marginal college player, gave them all sorts of problems, a dynasty problems for back-to-back years. So don't tell me Vogel can't coach. It's just the way this worked out doesn't feel complimentary to the guy who is the franchise. And you gave the darn franchise over to Magic and Kobe. At this point, give more power to LeBron.
And aside from feeling complimentary to LeBron, this process is not feeling complimentary to Vogel. I mean, they got Jason Kidd, for God's sakes, right there behind them. So it's just a matter of time before we see another David Blatt, Tyronn Lue situation come over where if he's not performing up to par, then you got that guy, Jason Kidd, who we knows has a relationship with LeBron James. And let me remind people of this if they don't know. When that Team USA, when Kobe and LeBron played together, they brought Jason Kidd on that team to kind of help mend things with those two. So he has a great relationship with LeBron. Also, skill development. That's an area that the Lakers lack. That's a problem they had with Luke Walton's staff.
Right.
Look no further than what Jason Kidd did for that guy Greek Freak over there in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
So this doesn't bode well. This situation is an ugly situation for Vogel. If he succeeds, more power to him. But if he doesn't, the writing is on the wall.
I want to go to James Harden. I don't want to overreact. He's a great player. But that game Friday felt a little bit like a legacy game. And, we were talking about this last week. It is amazing in life, how fleeting success is. Nick Saban in Alabama says, this is not a continuum. I lose a big game, we're rebuilding. Like, you can't just say, I'm successful. It's a grind. Yeah. Even for the greatest players in the world, it is a grind. Look at LeBron, best player in the world, to everybody's crushing him. So, I'll put this up for our FS1 viewers. On the left is MVPs with titles. These are the faces of the league. Kareem, Michael, Durant, LeBron, Kobe, Magic, Bird, Duncan, Shaq. MVPs without title, it's a lot of, but he was difficult, didn't play well with others, wasn't very clutch. By the way, I like Steve Nash. I like Barkley. But James now is in that kind of odd group of 6 people on the face of the earth, or 7, MVP without a title. I felt like that game hurt Harden's legacy.
And the reason it did, and yes, you were right. The reason it did because, like we mentioned earlier, he could not get it done when Golden State's best player was out. That's going to stick out like a sore thumb. Then you go to Houston, and he didn't play poorly. He made some blunders down the stretch that put them in a tough situation. But overall, he played okay. But it's not about playing okay. It's about willing your team to win. There was no reason why this series shouldn't have been shifted to Game 7.
And it also matters, Chris, when you score matters. If Steph Curry had 33 in the first half and none in the second, we'd be like,
no
dog.
Doubt. No doubt.
Stat pattern.
No doubt.
It's in Game 5, James disappeared. And in Game 6, people will point to the 35 points, but he missed a bunch of free throws. And in the last 4 minutes, I want him to take every shot.
And Colin, and another reason why this is so glaring as well, remember, the last 3 or 4 years, the Houston Rockets have been fixated on taking down the Warriors, trying to redesign their obsess. Players coming out openly said, we want this team. So you add all of that, knowing how much they wanted this team, knowing what the general manager said they're obsessed, and the things that he went after Andre Iguodala, try to take players away from them to try to weaken that core. And you lay an egg at home in Game 6, that's going to stand out. The only thing that's going to not erase it, but kind of diminish that low point is getting the championship. And like I said, if KD stays in Golden State, that's not happening.
It's funny. Utah never won a title, but they lost to MJ, and MJ just made shots. I don't think less of Malone or Stockton because it was like, okay, you gave a great effort. You lost to the greatest team ever, and Michael hit shots. Like, this is not just Steph hitting shots. This is a bunch of missed free throws. You disappeared in Game 5. In Game 6, Chris Paul was the best backcourt player for Houston. When you score, how you score, what the score is, all matters. Chris Haynes, he's on his phone. He's breaking stories. Discover alerts you if they find your Social Security number on any one of the 1,000 risky websites. Free for card members. Sign up online, discover.com/free alerts. Limitations apply. Chris, it is great seeing you.
Thank you, my guy.
Colin right, Colin wrong. Hour 2 next.